Hello. So, it's April, and April in West Virginia means ramp season. These are ramps. This is a giant gallon-sized bag full of ramps. Um, they are wild leeks. They're small, very potent onions. They have a garlicky flavor to them, a naturally garlicky flavor to them, and a little bit of a bite, just a tiny bit. And they grow very fast, usually in darker areas, shaded areas, naturally. And if you're lucky enough to know someone or be married to someone whose mother lives in an area where patches of... She's watching Cookie Monster. It's okay. If you happen to live in an area where my mother-in-law lives, you'll get your own little nice private patch of ramps every year. They grow back every year. As long as you take if you find a patch and you maybe take a third of it or half of it, that patch will next year it will regrow a third or half of the patch. So I have two very nice giant patches to choose from, and this is a big thing in West Virginia. I'm not West Virginian. I'm a Baltimorean. I'm from Maryland. This is a big thing in West Virginia. There are entire festivals, ramp festivals, where they just roast these and make them into anything you can possibly imagine. And they have just giant ramp dinners where they just eat things with ramps. Like I said, garlicky, kind of a bitey little onion. But I'm going to use them to make a number of things, including what I'm about to show you. Wash your hands. I'm about to show you how to make some really nice, fluffy, buttery, flaky cheddar ramp scones. Wash your hands.
I'm gonna bake something tasty. Gonna be crazy. Meow.
So this is your ramp. That's what it looks like. It's you got a bulb, leaves. The entire thing is edible. You can they roast these in the oven over a fire. Eat the whole thing. It's a tiny bit of sweetness, but mostly it's a very garlicky, very pungent little thing, huh? Which I usually I'll cut the bulb up, and then take the leaves. I usually put the leaves in like freezer bags. I'm going to use the leaves for a really nice cheddar ramp scone, which I'm going to show you about, and I'm going to use the rest of them to make a really good pesto, ramp pesto. But you can take this whole thing and toss it in with some vegetables, toss some vegetables into a pan with some meat if you're a meat person. Bam, just roast it all up. Very good flavor. But you'll see. You'll chop these up. I just give them a good wash, and then I chop the bulb, separate the leaves from the stem here. But your kitchen's gonna smell like garlic and onion for a while. So just get used to that. I'm gonna tell you right now, no cleaner is gonna get rid of that smell. But if you like it, it's good. And once these scones bake up, you're gonna love it. So let's get at it. Okay, we have 1/2 cup of cheddar. I've got some Wisconsin cheddar, and I've got a really good smoked cheddar that my mother-in-law found at the Amish market. Chop them both up. I like a little good little chopped pieces because they're gonna show up real nice in the biscuits, the scones. And I've got 1 tablespoon of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then 1/8 to 1/4 cup of ramps. You want to chop up those, you want leaves, you want green leaves for this, and then I got just a little bit of bulbs, just a little bit to add some more flavor. Okay, we have 1 3/4 cup of flour. I put it in my big wooden bread bowl here. This is my big big guy, because we're gonna mix this up into a dough. So you're gonna want a lot of space. So you're just gonna add in all those leavening agents there. I got a brand new whisk from Coach Bloom. This is good because I have all my cookware is non-stick, and you know, this has a nice. All the ends have little silicone balls on them, and you can use this little ring to tighten it up and make it smaller. So if you're you know, scrambling some eggs, nice. Oh crap! I just made a mess. Oh well, there we go. So, trick to a good scone is layers and cold, cold, cold. I'm talking, take your 6 tablespoons of butter, take your butter stick, pop it in the freezer for about 20 to 30 minutes. This thing is solid. What you're going to do is you're going to take a cheese grater and you're going to grate it into your flour. And once you got that, you're just going to take your hands and just mush the cold flakes of butter into that flour to get some crumbles, okay? So I'm going to do just that, and I'll be right back. To our crumbles, we're going to add 1/2 cup of heavy cream along with 1 beaten egg. Beat that egg into that cream, and then we're going to add this slowly to our butter crumbles and make a nice sticky dough. Okay, so we have our clump of dough here, and we're just going to add in those ramps. Yeah, get all those ramps and that cheddar. Yeah. Just same thing with your hands, just mix this all together. So a lightly floured surface, we have our dough. We're going to form it into a kind of a sort of a rectangle here, maybe a big sheet of paper. What you're going to do to get these scones nice and flaky is you're going to roll this out into a sheet, fold it into itself one way, and then fold it the other way. I'll show you that in just a second. Okay, so I've got it kind of spread out of here a little bit. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring one side in, bring the other side in, and you're going to roll this out. Then you're going to bring it around, do the same thing again. Just the opposite side. Bring this in, bring the top to the middle, roll it out. Okay, so what you have here is a couple of layers. I don't know if you can see them, maybe not, but a couple of layers of dough in on each other, rolled flat. Good, good business letter, maybe a folder size square. And we're going to cut those up into triangles. There we go. Maybe not gorgeous, but you got 8 scones there in nice little triangles. And to these, we're just going to brush a little heavy cream. Okay, so I'm just brushing these with a little heavy cream. It's gonna help them brown up a little bit, get a little nice crust. You know, we've got I called them biscuits a little while ago, and it's you know, what do you call a savory scone, you know? But a biscuit. These are going to be oniony, garlicky, you know, good for breakfast. With a little, I'm going to show you later on. I don't know. Why keep this, you know, keep this to baking when I can show you all kinds of nice things to make. So I'm going to show you a little while how to make some nice, ramp gravy. Something my dad, recipe I got from my dad, really. My grandfather, watching my grandfather make gravy. You know, try to bring you all things that I like, things that I grew up with, things that I remember. I don't really get along with my parents. We don't talk. We don't share. You know, I just have these memories of, you know, going to my grandfather's house and him making up a giant vat of stew, you know, or yeah, that 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 cast iron skillet just erupting with cornbread, you know, and you know, when I have my daughter, and I not only do I want to make her good food. I remember growing up and food wasn't that good, and it was just because my dad worked all night. My mom just took it upon herself. You know, she's like, just got to make something. So it was, you know, a quick North side and some mac and cheese and a dried piece of meat. I don't know. But you know, not that I intended to travel and learn to cook. I never thought I would do something like that. It just befell me in my travels to cook, to work in restaurants. It paid well, and it was easy to do, and you didn't have to have a lot of experience. And you know, there was always somebody there willing to show you how things are and how things are to be done. And it's amazing how, you know, you don't necessarily need. I mean, I could have benefited, sure, from you know, going to a culinary school as opposed to just the technical training and the real world experience I had. But anyway, you know, I gather up these recipes, things I like, things I see. I tinker with the old ones, you know, that I found in old cookbooks and things that my grandfather has passed to me, and I kind of make them my own a little bit. But mostly I just like to make do with what I've got. And right now what I've got is ramps. 425 for 12 to 15 minutes, depending on how hot your oven runs. We're going to do this for 12, and then we're going to come back and see what we got. Stay tuned. Okay, 425, 12 minutes. Let's see what we got. I'm going to give them another 3 minutes. It's hot. It's hot. April. Got the air on. Nice water. Baby's watching Miss Rachel. Got such a love-hate relationship with scones. They just they never work. I don't know. I always try, you know, and they never come out, and I don't know what the problem is. But so I thought I'd try something new with you, and usually, you know, what you'll find out there in the world is like a cheddar and chive scone. I've been around one of those. But so when ram season comes up, I try to think of all the things I could do with ramps, and I always make a gravy. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice to make some scones and really hit them out of the park, like a cheddar and ram scone instead of cheddar and chive. But then my mother-in-law gave me that smoked cheddar, and I thought, that's perfect. Smoked cheddar and ram scones, yes. But you'll see, hopefully, you'll see when we break these things open that there's layers when you bring those, you roll out your dough, you bring it in, and you box it, make it into layers, and just keep flattening it out. I did it twice. I layer, flatten it out, layer, flatten it out. And it's much like phyllo dough. You're gonna see flaky layers. Hopefully, let's see. But they look good. They look good so far. I'd like a little bit more of a little more browning on the top, but that should look good. And I'm surprised at myself. Yeah, I'm not from here. I'm from Baltimore. And this is the only thing that I don't know. The only like season that I think, wow, you know, this is something I can really appreciate. Especially knowing that my grandfather used to get them We were from Marylanders, so he'd go to the country and he'd buy these at prices I don't even know of. I have no idea what how much he paid, but he'd go buy them, and I met my wife. Oh right, yeah, look at that. Oh, hello friends. Look what we have. Yeah. Hmm. My daughter has been watching a lot of this radio. So a lot of times, a lot of things she'll say, "Hello, friends," and yeah, that. Ooh, my! I just want to, if I can, possibly show one of these up here. Look at that! Look at that! Nice and golden. Yeah, nice and golden. Um, wow! It just smells amazing. It just smells amazing. Break this up for you. Break this up for you, nice folks out there in YouTube land. Oh, yeah. Okay, here you go. See, here we go. You got just much like a Grand's biscuit. You can just like flip up a layer here and just see. Look at that. Look at this. It's beautiful. Flaky goodness. Look at that. Wow. Do you see that? That's the good stuff. That's it right there. It's flaky. Yeah. So good. Mmm. Very good. Wow. It's really good. It's a scone, so it's you're gonna have what you're wanting here is not like it's kind of I'm not gonna say doughy in the middle, but it's moist. Um, but this is it's so good. It turned out so well. Mm. Now, what we're gonna do with these scones is make some really dynamite ramp gravy, and then you're gonna have a really nice Sunday brunch. Mm, so good. Hope you've enjoyed this. Um, it's not every day that you get to enjoy something like ramps. Only here for a short time, so if you have an opportunity to get some, definitely get some. Like I said, little bite of an onion. Not even in this, you don't get too much of onion. Definitely the garlicky, the garlic onion flavor is here. The garlicky flavor is here, no doubt. But it's not a heavy bite, And I'm going to show you how to make some ramp pesto that is really good, and it does have a little bit more bite because we're going to be using a lot of the leaves and some of the stalks and just a little bit of the bulbs, along with some olive oil, some pine nuts, and some garlic and a bunch of other things to make a really, really nice sauce. So come back for that. But I really hope you like these. It was a lot of fun making them. Like I said, I don't have really good luck with scones, so wow, it's so good. I'm gonna eat this and share it with the baby. Hope everything's going all right out there with you. Um, but until next time, happy baking. Yay! Be good. Wednesday. Wednesday. Hey, baby. Is that good? Do you like your pasta? Potato? You like the potato? It's good? Baby, you're an absolute mess. You want to say, you say bye-bye? Okay. Enjoy.